Hey, this is Pastor Curry, pastor of the E. Zion Fair Baptist Church, Wilmington's most exciting church, the church that love ya and anything you can do about it. Today with Coffee with Curry, we are going to have a absolute treat. We have Sarah Crawford, who is doing so much in the community to empower Black and brown women, and I'm just excited to talk with her today. We're going to see what's going to happen. So why don't you call somebody real quickly, tell them Coffee with Curry is on, and let's get after it. And we're back. Well, it's a joy and a privilege, Miss Crawford, to be with us as today. As I've indicated, we have Miss Sarah Crawford with us, and she's going to share several things that she's involved in. I'm just so impressed with her ability to want to empower African-American women to be able to be the best that they can be in whatever chosen field that they shall choose to be a part of. There are several people who have been very much connected to you and to the success that you have had. But before we get into all of that, I just want to know a little bit about Sarah Crawford.
About me. Yeah. So I'm Sarah Crawford. I am from Wilmington, Delaware, born and raised. I went to school in Tampa, Florida, so I kind of claim Florida too. Okay. I have a bachelor's degree in fashion design and marketing. Before that, I went to Padua Academy here in Wilmington, Delaware, so I'm a panda. But I think overall, what I have learned about myself is that, to your point of what you said, I have become an advocate for our communities, for our women, and for Black and brown businesses and entrepreneurs who really want to excel in life. I've really become an advocate for them, probably forever, but actively probably in the last 7 years.
Okay.
So,
what kind of motivated you to go into this field?
The interesting part is I always like to say it's a happy accident.
Okay.
So, again, my background is in fashion, so I was a designer. I'm a creative, and I will always be a creative. But sometimes when we think we're supposed to do one thing, your purpose is somewhere else. Mm-hmm. I'm still able to use those skill sets, but one day I needed a job, and that's really what I needed. I needed a job. And there was a woman who really saw some things in me, and she brought me under her wing, brought me into the organization. It was First State Community Loan Fund. It's now True Access Capital. She brought me in, and I learned a lot of different things. Mm-hmm. And what I realized is that part of my purpose is servantship.
Okay.
And it is to serve these business owners and to help them and advocate for them. And that's kind of how it happened. So the job became a love and a passion and purpose, purposeful. And I had no idea. Happy accident.
But it was so interesting when you shared that it was a woman who saw something in you. Mm-hmm. So it's like you're giving back what was given to you.
Absolutely.
And you said that before I go even that far, you talked about your degree in fashion design. Mm-hmm. Now, where did you get that again?
So I went to school at International Academy of Design and Technology. In Tampa, Florida. Okay.
So that pulled out the creativity in you, or was it always there? How did that work with you?
No, that was always there. I probably wanted to be a designer since I was probably 13, 12, really young in age. Yeah. And my parents did a really good job, I like to think, at really nurturing that. My mom could sew, my dad could draw. Oh, okay. So I kind of got it, honestly. Yeah. I think, it's funny, the way our paths are set up and things that you look back in hindsight, mm-hmm. and then you're like, that makes so much sense. My uncle was the first African-American printer in Delaware. Oh. So entrepreneurship kind of runs deep in my family. My mom and my dad both my dad owned a business. My mom owns a business. So it's kind of, I feel like it was inevitable.
Yeah, and we always open up all of our segments by talking about the individual, so I was kind of jumping around a little bit. And you've given me a great understanding. You talk about your mom, your dad. Both of them still are around, I'm sure.
My mom, my dad is deceased, but my mom is.
Yeah, well, I know your mom is because she's a faithful member here at E. Zion Fair. But let's talk a little bit about their businesses, because you said something that was very key, and I want some young person to hear it. Mm-hmm. And one of the things you said very key is that it was embedded in you or automatically. It was almost like part of your DNA.
Absolutely.
To be an entrepreneur, even though at one point you were looking for a job, but when you discovered, you saw how much you could really do. Let's talk a little bit about your dad's what he did, as well as what mom does?
So my dad had his own window cleaning business.
Okay.
So I can remember like so clearly every morning waking up, getting prepared like really early. Well, him getting prepared, loading up his truck, and then going to serve his customers every morning. And one thing about that, what I also love is like the work-life balance. My dad did his work, but he made sure when it was time to come get Sarah from school, he was there to get me, and we had like our own daughter-dad situation going on.
My
mom felt left out too.
Yeah, and I know about that too.
Yeah,
Amen.
with your girls.
Yeah.
So my mom is a caterer.
Okay.
So we ate a lot of good food. We still do, which is great. So my mom, her thing was more like on weekends sometimes when she had it, or during the week. Hers was a little different because everybody's in the catering every day. And inevitably I became a part of the business, helping, doing things. I don't do that anymore. I retired.
Okay.
That's not my thing. But I'm always available to help if needed. So by watching them, what I didn't realize, I realize it now, I kind of saw how it worked, managing a business and owning a business and work-life balance and how you prioritize and things of that nature. I really didn't realize how much I watched them until I got older.
Yeah, and one of the things I'm sitting here thinking, I was like, wow, mom never told me she was a caterer. So we'll have to tap into that. We have to tap into that because that's awesome, to know that kind of skill is there. But the thing about your design, even though you may not be into the catering business, but your creativity,
absolutely,
could have come out of that as well. Absolutely. That's awesome. So mom, dad, they were entrepreneurs. Even uncle was, a strong entrepreneur. And you found your niche after someone discovered something in you that you didn't quite see, but it was there.
Absolutely. I'm always on a creative path. If I can't add a creative element to something, I don't love it. But I always have my spin on it. It always has my touch and my creative spin. But, especially with COVID, things have changed.
Yes.
So I've been able to really kind of, propel a lot of businesses forward with thinking outside of the box and learning how to do some things creativity wise, and just trying to sustain their business and trying to give them new perspective.
Yeah. So you have several entities that's wrapped around your creativity.
Yeah,
I'm going to use that as our thought. And when you talk about if you were to define what Sara Crawford offers, before we get into all the individual, at the next break, we're going to get into all of them.
Okay.
What does Sara offer to black women or women of color?
I would say, obviously, creativity. So, new, like perspective, inspiration, empowerment.
Okay.
Those are the three things I would say.
You chose three adjectives. Why those three?
So what I've come to realize is that, just kind of working in this field and working with different people, everybody needs to be uplifted at some point.
Absolutely.
Because the road to an entrepreneur and the road of an entrepreneur is not easy.
Absolutely.
It has its ups and downs, but you need cheerleaders. You need people who are going to cheer you on even when it's low and even when it's high, especially when it's low. So definitely inspiration and empowerment. I believe that working together, we're stronger.
Yeah.
Working in silos isn't always the answer. And I've been able to do that, empowering women to work together and not like, just because you're doing same thing or similar things doesn't mean you can't work together for the bigger picture.
Absolutely.
And creativity, that's just me. That's Sarah. That's my secret sauce. So bringing my perspective to it, to their ideas, to their businesses, and letting them know that you can do it, but maybe you should think about doing it like this.
Absolutely.
Really kind of defining what their like competitor advantage is, what makes them different.
Okay. Yeah. Now, when talking to younger people, because you deal with those younger people as well, when talking to them and trying to tap into their creativity, what do you find as one of the forces that constantly nag against them being better? Not saying they don't get better, but how do you motivate a young person to tap into their creativity?
I'm always interested to see. When I do talk to children, I'll say younger people, not just children. Yeah. But I'm always asking, what are you interested in?
Okay.
Because I think sometimes they get caught up in, maybe what their parents want them to do or what school tells them they have to do. And that doesn't mean you shouldn't listen to them. Right. However, I always find that there's something that they like more than something else. So I'm always asking questions, kind of playing devil's advocate. Hey, like, what else you like to do? Tell me what else you like to do. And usually people's their faces light up when they like one specific thing. So I'm always saying, well, if you really like that, what are you doing what are you doing with that? Or like, let's say it's cooking, for example. Are you helping mom and dad in the kitchen? Are you watching cooking shows? So it's more like trying to suggest things so I can kind of nurture what they want to do as well, or at least kind of push them forward. To not be afraid to maybe tell their parents or their teacher that they really like this one thing.
Right. You use as one of your adjectives encouragement. Do you find that that's essential because of some of the negativity that they may be experiencing when dealing with Black and brown women?
Yes.
Okay.
Very much so. I'm not going to say we live in it. Times are different.
Yeah. Okay.
Times are different. But I do find that Black and brown children, adults, Black and brown businesses, Black and brown communities, we don't always have all the resources at our fingertips.
Absolutely.
Like other communities. So it's important to encourage them and also make sure that they have the resources that they need. But encouragement is a big part of that. But because we always see other people propelling and growing and scaling, sometimes we get discouraged when it's not happening with us.
Okay.
Or we're not sure how to make it happen with us. It can be discouraging. Society has kind of brainwashed some of us that way, that we don't deserve or we cannot. And I don't take no for an answer. No is just later on, like a not right now. So I'm really big on wanting to always push people to, if that is really what you love and what you want to do, you should make it happen.
Yeah, I like what you just shared, and that is, no means later.
Yeah, like
doesn't mean
not right
fun,
now.
It's not a permanent.
Yep.
It's more of a semicolon, a pause in the conversation.
A pause, yes.
Yeah, and given you kept using the language of times are different, but we live in a very negative society now, where it is very difficult to encourage young women. Right now, we just come out of Women History Month, and one of the things I tried to do is to continuously talk about women achievement, because women have been at the heart of everything that America has certainly done, and all too often they've been pushed in the background.
Absolutely.
But African American and Latino women have really been pushed further.
Forward. And it's so great to see us in that light. And I keep using this word, but we deserve, and women overall, we're a lot of things to a lot of people. We're friends, wives, moms, best friend, we the cook, we the chauffeur, all these different things. So, you have these skill sets, you're doing work life, we deserve to be seen in that light. And it's unfortunate that it has been so negative for so long, but it's so important now that we talk about those wins, because we should talk about them.
Yeah, and I think when we in the next segment we're ready to go to, we're gonna really talk about the many things and the many organizations that you do. I asked you to send me some information, and you sent me a whole lot of information.
I was just like, I don't know what to say.
but even Lisa Blunt Rochester have congratulated you on your success with working with women, and I think that needs to be noted. And for those of you who are watching, those of you who have grandchildren, you have daughters, this is a great opportunity for them to understand that life will issue you lemons, but it's your job to make it lemonade as opposed to lemon juice. So this is really great. So we're going to come right back with Miss Crawford, and we're going to really just talk about some of the things that she's doing. So you get a chance to hear and get an understanding of it. We're also going to use some contact information so that you'll be able to communicate with her, and there may be something she can offer to you. We don't know, but we're going to come right back. And we're back. Great conversation. Getting a great opportunity to hear Ms. Sara Crawford as she's sharing the various things that kind of got her excited about walking into what she feel very, very much committed to and have a compassion for. And I've just been impressed with the conversation because I get an opportunity to hear not only what you're doing, but how you're empowering other people to do it. So I wanted to spend this time, just a few moments, talking a little bit about the plethora of organizations that you have started, that you work in, that really have been helping to impact the lives of Black and brown women.
Okay.
Share.
So I think where my journey started more recently with helping Black and brown people of color, businesses, and women is at the Women's Business Center at True Access Capital.
Okay.
We are located in the Community Service Building in downtown Wilmington.
Okay.
So the Women's Business Center is a small business administration technical assistance program, and their main goal is to make sure that we are either helping to start businesses or help existing businesses scale.
Okay.
And our target markets are obviously minorities, women, and then those in underserved communities, making sure that they have the resources at their fingertips to educate them in learning about business, and also resources on how to gain access to capital if they're looking to open a business.
Okay. So is there a cost for this?
So in my center, because there's centers all over the world and they're all different, there are small fees that they never exceed $100
Okay.
for some things, but and that's like a 5% rate. Most of the things are free.
Okay.
So we have business counselors who can counsel you on your business, and they kind of walk with you hand in hand. It's a free service.
Okay.
We have monthly programs. Majority of all of them are free. So they go from everything from starting a business plan or writing a business plan all the way to learning how to cultivate a culture for your business if you're trying to, staff and have a good culture in your business. So we go from every step of the
So if I was a black and brown woman and I'm interested in starting a business, then I can come to your organization. Tell me the name of it again.
The Women's Business Center.
The Women's Business Center, downtown Wilmington, which is in the Community Service Building.
Absolutely.
And I could say, I'm here. I want whatever the fees are, not more than $100. And you mean to tell me those type of services are at my disposal?
Absolutely.
I could really tap into them?
Absolutely.
So from knowing how to create the culture to even the administration of it?
Absolutely.
Wow.
And we have industry-specific programming as well. So if you are in the food industry, we have something called Recipe for Success.
Okay.
And you will go through that programming. It will literally show and teach you all the ins and outs of either owning a food truck or a restaurant or catering or, whatever your specific business is, that as well. And then we have how to start a daycare. And we go through all of those. So we have industry-specific and then we have non-industry-specific, which can, like I said, business planning, being legal in business talks about like your legal entity, if you're going to be a LLC or a corporation. Right. We have marketing classes, like all of those classes are free.
That's awesome. And you're able to provide this to the persons who will make the decision. I've been a proponent of you shouldn't have a lot of burning without some learning.
Oh, I like that.
And all too often, people have that burning desire to do. It's just part of who they are, but they just don't know how to do it.
No, they don't.
And you can offer them the skills to be able to do that.
Absolutely. And we do have a class called How to Start a Business. And I like that as a start point because it's an overview of all the things you should be thinking about and you will need to think about if you want to start a business.
Yeah.
And that usually will tell people whether or not they're ready or not ready. And sometimes they wait. Sometimes they get started right away,
But, it's the difference between working for somebody and working for yourself.
It absolutely is.
And that is the great joy of being able to work in your passion, show your creativity, and be able to do what you really want to do. And I just think sometimes in our community, we don't value the education process.
We do not. Because it's a lot of things with that. There is value in it, but I find what happens, we live in a microwave state where everybody wants everything fast and instant.
Yes.
And everything can't be that way. You have to trust the process. And if you do it that way, you're going to be missing some components. So that's why it's important to go from A to Z and not go from, M to Z, and skip all those other parts. They're very important. And I think what people don't realize is when, as a business owner, especially, doing it on your own, you should know every aspect of your business, even if you're not the one doing it all the time.
Okay.
That's important. And that's why the business plan is important. And I know people are like, it's monotonous. However, it is like the Bible to your business.
Amen.
It's the living, breathing document to your business.
And what's really interesting when you said that, I thought about Oprah Winfrey. She said something years ago that I've stuck with. She says, there's not a piece of my business I cannot do, and I am not aware of.
I always call it the hit by the bus syndrome.
Yeah.
If something happens to me today or tomorrow, who's going to do all these things?
Yeah.
I need to have places, things and people in places that can kind of pick up and keep it moving, if you're sick or whatever the case is.
Yeah, but if you don't know.
If you don't know, then
I'm not an accountant, but I know the fundamentals of keeping the accounting
and that's
right.
that right there.
And that's what she taught me. And as I'm listening to you, if people really want to be successful in the businesses that they have a passion for, they need to know it.
Absolutely.
And they need to know the ins and outs of it. And what your organization can offer them is that opportunity to really walk through it and see how to successfully establish it.
Absolutely. And that's why I love the Women's Business Center.
Oh, wow. That's one of the great centers. And I know, was that the center that Lisa Rochester visited, or was there? I saw something with her and you together.
Yes. So last week we were, or the week before last, we were ending out Women's History Month.
Okay.
So the SBA, the Women's Business Center, the SBA, and the Juice Joint, we were at a local business in downtown Wilmington at the riverfront.
Right.
They're a Black-owned business, and they're also a client of ours. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to support them, and Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester came out, and we did a Q&A. We talked about women in business. We talked about why it's important to encourage each other and how we should work together. And it was really a good time. But we like to support our businesses as well, even after they start and they're scaling and they're growing. We like to visit them, host events there. We still want to give back to them, because it's not just my job to help you start the business, but it's also my job to help you sustain afterwards.
Amen.
Too.
That's the key. Mm-hmm. That's the key, because to have a passion that is drowned, it won't be around too long. Exactly. But I think that's really good. So that's one of the organizations. You got another. You got several more, but let's talk about another one.
So during the pandemic, I noticed that there were tons of businesses struggling. Mm-hmm. And a lot of it was because they didn't know how to pivot from person to person to now being in a digital space, just working online. And I said that when we started, technology is not always our friend, but we have to make friends with technology because that is the way of the world. It's the wave. So what I found is that a lot of people didn't have a digital presence. They didn't have videos, they didn't have photos, they didn't have websites, they didn't have something to engage their old and or new customer or client. So together with the other co-founder, my business partner, Andre Wright Jr., he's a local photographer here. Okay. We came together and we created the Original Color Collective. Okay. And what we took a creative spin. So what we have done, we've created editorial shoots for business owners, so that way you have digital content for your social pages and for your website to engage your client and your customer and help grow your business, as well as art exhibits and art shows, and that's for the real creative side. So we've been doing that for a little over a year now, and the great part about it is we've been able to help people increase their visibility and their growth by 40%.
Oh wow!
And we started off small, and now it's like we hit the ground running, and now we're constantly busy. Wow! But it's great, and again, it's different from the Women's Business Center, but it's still kind of related. Right. And it still speaks to my creative side, and it still speaks to my mission to make sure that we are growing in entrepreneurship in the Black and Brown community.
Oh, excellent. When you were talking about during COVID, we adapting to the digital space was very difficult, even for people like me. Yeah. Pastor in a church. I love the church is full. That's what I love. But having to go to the digital space was very difficult for us. But we knew in order to survive and feed our parishioners, we had to do it. And I fought it.
You guys did a great job.
Well, you should have sold the background, because the background was not a friend to us. Because I'm saying I'm used to Sunday morning showing up and let's all have church.
Absolutely.
But it has pushed us to now we are. For those of you who are watching, the reason why I'm letting the conversation go in this area, because she's absolutely correct. You have to be out there, because we went to billboards. We went to the Beyond Channel 28. We do the Facebook. We do the Instagram. We just trying to put ourselves out there. And what I'm noticing is that we're getting people who are not even from this area.
Me too.
Who are connecting to us. I said to the Bible study group, And they all laughed. I said, I don't think I'm ever going to go back into the sanctuary for Bible study. I said, because it's just wonderful to know you reach so many more people. I've not had that many people in Bible study. It is. But I fought it. I fought it. Lord, you have to get over this COVID because we got to get back in church. Mm-hmm. Although I love seeing the people of God,
Absolutely.
I do. But that digital space, it opens up the door to a much larger audience.
I would say it's a different animal in a digital space, but it can. I always say that COVID has been a gift and a curse. Yeah. It has done a lot of damage, but on the other side, it has given us new perspective.
Yes,
new perspective, new outlook on how we can move, still do some of the old things, but how we can pivot and we can grow and scale.
Yeah, you talked about 40%. There was an increase in people's visibility by 40%. That's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty high. I mean, when the 40% is probably not accurate to date.
Okay.
That is probably accurate as of November.
Okay.
So I haven't checked our stats, but to me that was big to start.
Yes, that's very significant. Yeah. And you're working with them, so you got the creative, you have the you have that digital space piece. Is there another organization, or you are with just those two for right now?
So that's my daytime. The Women's Business Center is my daytime job, and my other business is the Original Color Collective. Like I said, with my partner, but I am also Bikini and Poland Group, BPG for short. They have asked me to become the new creative director and curator of their art gallery in downtown Wilmington as well. So MKT Place Gallery is now up and running, it's been up and running, but new perspective. That's what I'm going to say. Mm-hmm. And I am booked for the entire year of 2022. So we're bringing a lot of different perspective as far as art and experiences to the city, and I'm really excited about that as well.
Wow, what people, if someone is watching today, it's important that you recognize that you can start off being the daughter of a window washer and a caterer, and then you can go walk into what you believe, what you have a passion for, and get booked up for a whole year. Just be overwhelmed. I'm honored that you had time to even come visit Little Y.
Stop.
But this is just awesome. And I want young people, I want them to understand that you can go after your passions, your dreams, and make stuff happen.
I think the interesting part about that is you can go after your passions, but if I would have talked to you 5 years ago, I probably wouldn't be saying these same things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have to trust the process. Mm-hmm. I never would have thought that this would be the path that I'm on, but I wouldn't change it for anything.
Oh, that's excellent.
And I believe that everything I've done, even down to working in retail stores and doing all these things, everything has always connected. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I know how to do that because I remember doing that from XYZ. Mm-hmm. So it's everything connects. Like when I always say you can have a plan, but God's plan is always better.
Absolutely.
And it has definitely been better.
Yes,
it's definitely been better.
Yes. Sometimes our plan is a joke to God.
Yeah. I'm sure he was cracking up. Cracking up.
Yeah. And I'm very grateful for that. Two things, because we're going to come back on our next break, and we're going to talk a little bit about your downtime, or do you have any downtime? We're going to talk about what makes Sarah happy, what causes her to be, all right, we're on top of the world, and some of the things that may not cause that. But before I go, I'm always interested in knowing, are you happier today than you were yesterday?
Absolutely.
And why?
Absolutely. It's so funny. I think I was just talking about this with my mom yesterday. I can remember feeling like, you're living and you're existing versus actually living. Uh-huh. And I feel like I am living now, like literally walking in purpose. Mm-hmm. When I am able to help a business owner or a creative accomplish a goal or open up a business, and they literally are cutting that ribbon, or they're coming to me saying, I've already done my 2-year projection. Now what should I do? That is like the best kind of excitement in the world, because I've helped them do that. And you're still wanting to do more. Yep. It literally just makes me know that I'm just living in my purpose.
And when people see as much as you do, they don't understand it's a passion.
It is.
It's not as stressful as a person who's just watching you.
Exactly.
Because you're walking in your passion. This is great. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're just going to talk a little bit more about Sarah and what makes you happy. What do you do? And we just want to get a little bit more. And then I just sent my producer out to go get your mama, because since I'm the pastor, I'm going to bring her on this show too. Okay. Because I want to talk about that hidden secret that she didn't tell me about. We'll be right back. And we're back. Well, it has been truly, truly an honor to just sit and have coffee with you.
Absolutely.
Because I did not know when I received the email of a bright star that was among us that you would be doing what you do and have such your hidden secret. Can I say it that way?
Yeah,
you are a hidden secret. You can help Black and brown women become stronger in what they believe. And I think that's important.
Absolutely.
But in every success story, there has to be a balance of being, I know you work because you're doing what you're passionate, but what makes Sara happy? What does she like to do when we're not helping to empower women?
So I'm pretty simple, actually. I love to travel.
Okay.
And I can thank my mom for that. She had me traveling at a very young age.
Okay.
So I will hop a plane in a minute.
Okay.
So I love to travel because I love to experience new cultures. And
Okay.
when I'm traveling, I get inspired by, different things like stores and architecture. I went to Cuba a few years ago, and I just thought just their structure and the color, it was so inspiring.
Mm-hmm.
So traveling. I also like to be in peace.
Okay.
And when I say peace, I just like to be quiet. That means maybe there's some music in the background, I'm drinking some tea, or just kind of just sit and meditate and be in peace. Because when you're moving all the time and everything is so loud, sometimes quiet is really good.
And that kind of speaks to your passion because you are creative. And a creative person can't have a busy mind going all over the place. It has to be able
Not all the
to
time.
focus on certain things as you are spreading out. That makes a lot of sense.
And I like to spend time with friends and family, so I like to entertain. I get that from my parents as well. I like to have parties for no reason.
Okay.
And
So when
have
you
people over.
let me just jump in there. You can continue. But so when you have your parties, do you cook or do you cater? Have it catered? How do you have a party at Sara's World?
I do a combination.
Okay.
So sometimes I will have it catered. A lot of times my mom is the cook.
Okay.
And then there's times where I will cook as well.
Okay.
Or maybe me and my mom do it together.
Now, do you like cooking?
I do and I don't.
Okay. What is your favorite dish?
My favorite food is tacos. That's not my favorite dish though.
Okay.
It's really hard. My mom makes a lot of really good things, but I'm going to say her roast beef is my favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now let's back up a little bit because we're gonna bring Mom on. They telling me she's gonna be here because she love her pastor. So your favorite, you like roast beef? Okay. Now
From my mom.
From your mom. Okay. I understand why you want to cut me off on that one
No, from my
because it's
mom.
not from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
But let's say if you were cooking, name of something that you enjoy that you like to cook.
That I like to cook.
Yes.
I do a lot of things really well, but I really enjoy fried rice.
What kind of fried rice?
So it varies. Sometimes it's vegetable fried rice.
Okay.
Sometimes it may be like chicken and shrimp.
Okay.
Like I like to mix up the patterns sometimes, and that's why I like it because I can change it up.
Okay.
I do different sauces. I'm really into the details of cooking. My mom says I like the little bougie cute food.
Okay. That's my
so
wife.
yeah, I like the little cute food. So I'm really into sauces and marinades and things like that. That's like really my thing.
And that speaks to creativity again. Everything in your world is about
Creativity.
and you said you like the fried rice because you can mix it up. That speaks to your creativity. So you all the way around, even if I was trying to figure out how you really weren't creative, everything you kind of shared deals with creativity.
I actually didn't even realize that you just said it. That's probably
It
why.
does. It does. And I think with this whole fashion the design that you are in, that speaks to it. So it's just a great opportunity for young women to see
Absolutely.
that when you run with your passion, God will do some great things
Absolutely.
for you.
Anything's possible.
Yes.
Anything is possible.
Listen, is there a website that maybe you can provide for us, for a person who's watching, saying, how can I communicate with her, or a phone number, or I know you were down in the community service building, but is there a website or a phone number that maybe, or email, or all three, that maybe you can give to our viewers?
Absolutely. So you can go to trueaccesscapital.org All the words are spelled normal, trueaccesscapital.org. And you can find the Women's Business Center there. We have a tab within that website. And then you can also call our office. That's 302-652-6774.
Okay, great. So if a person like me who's a male want to start his business, I got to go somewhere else. Oh, I can?
Yes.
You didn't say that.
I'm sorry, we're not just for women, and you're not just for people of color. Those are our target audiences.
Okay.
However, we help everybody.
I'm glad you cleared that up because I was getting ready to be offended. I want to now start a new business, and I can't because I can't have a Sarah.
Nope. You can come. You can come and hang out with us.
Okay.
I have a lot of men, a lot of guys who come and hang out with us. So definitely you can come.
Well, that's good to know. And for those of you brothers as well as sisters, but like she said, it's the target audience. She wants to empower Black and brown women and to be more, to do more, and to have more. But if you're a brother, you want to utilize the services, it's available to them as well. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. You are a plethora of personality, and we appreciate you so very much for all that you do for the community. Listen, because your mom is going to be on the very next segment with you. She's going to probably kill you because you had no business sharing the secrets.
That's okay.
But that's right. Yes. but I want you to have your the last word in this segment. You can speak to that camera. Just any young person that you want to encourage or to move in their purpose, you have the opportunity at this point to share with them what you desire.
So I want to, young, old, in between, whatever age you are, I have very, very specific sayings that I say all the time, and one of them is just press play. Mm-hmm. And I know for some people they're kind of like, what does that mean? Just press play. I find that we overthink things, and we overthink to the point of talking ourselves out of things, things that we know we should or we could be doing. So if you love something and you want to do it, just press play. It's really just that simple.
Oh, wow. That means go for it.
Just go for it. Just do it.
Yes, we did that together. And that's that Nike piece. Just do it. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much.
You have been a blessing today. I am so glad I was introduced to you.
I'm so glad
and your mom been here for a while, and I ain't seen you. So do you ever?
I've been here.
You have?
I surely have.
Well, let me get myself together because I'm gonna pay better attention.
You're a busy man.
Well, I ain't that busy. Mrs. Sunday, let your mom, Mrs. Sunday. I'm calling to see what's going on. But I am very grateful. You're doing great things in the community.
Thank you so much.
And that's what this show is all about. Having a cup of coffee with Curry is about making sure the community know what's out there.
Yes, absolutely.
You're a hidden gem. And while many people didn't know about you, I hope that this will be an opportunity for people to hear about you, whether you are African-American, male, female, or it doesn't matter. You have services that can help them become who God has called them to be.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
And it's such a joy to have you. We're going to come right back because we think we located Mom. We'll be right back. Well, the powers of a pastor, when you can hear something and then pull the person right in. I'm just grateful to God. Sister Carmela, listen, how in the world did you serve here at Zion Fair for the time you've been here, and we not know that you had such a treasure in the house who could cook up a storm, have the daughter bragging on a show about your roast beef? How could this be so?
I don't know. When I came to Zion, I didn't come to give all my credentials. That's not what I came for.
Amen.
You know, I came for the music, for the word, and for the people.
Okay.
You know, but I knew eventually it would kind of slip out.
Okay.
You know, and Deacon Hill is a prime example. And I'm surprised, Reverend Benton, because I had him all over last Sunday.
Oh, wow.
For brunch. We had our brunch meeting for TG Swap.
Oh.
You know.
Well, you getting everybody in trouble.
You getting everybody.
You getting everybody in trouble. The deacon, Hill, okay. Reverend Benton, my right hand people. Very good. I can't wait to get to them. They're not saying nothing to me. So thank you for you like you're doing. You get everybody in trouble.
Yep. Get them all in trouble. Yeah, we had a good time.
But that is awesome. And you're right. We don't come to introduce our credentials. But you know what? God has use for our credentials. And sometimes when you're in a church, as we're not mega, but we have a nice amount of members, it is difficult to navigate yourself around. But somehow you got in with the right people, TGI Swamp. You do the noonday prayers, and there was another one.
Angel Tree.
Then the Angel Tree. That's the one that really touched my heart, which shares the heart of what the Lord does. But to hear that you have a successful daughter, had a successful husband who did well in his business, and you doing well, this is what I like to highlight. I was telling your daughter that on Coffee with Curry, it's about sharing with the community what's available. And one of the things that we were talking about on the break is that, you know, maybe we used to have a home economics, or I don't know what they would call it these days, where we teach women and boys, because my mom taught me how to do everything.
Right.
You know, she taught me how to wash my own clothes. When I went to college, I was washing my clothes. I was making my own meals. My aunt Lil, she taught me how to cook. I love cooking.
Yes.
But I think that that's probably something that we probably want to look at offering to this community.
That would be great.
Yeah.
That would be great. Because today, everything is so fast. Fast food. You know, they need to go back to the basics.
Yes.
And learn from the basics.
Yes.
How to feed their families.
Right,
you
right.
know?
Yeah.
So that would be a great ministry to bring to the church.
Well, I'm so glad, because you know, you talk to anybody who know me, when you say you can do something, I'll throw you in doing it.
I heard.
Because I am very much interested, and you showed me what professionalism really looked like with that angel tree. And I'm glad that you, even though I was here to interview your daughter today, I'm glad that we get this moment. I may even bring you back and do another whole segment once we get going with the ministries that the Lord may lay in your heart to go ahead and do. But that angel tree, I had people at Dunkin' Donuts who had saw my announcement on it, was sharing with me, I am a recipient
Oh, how
of
nice.
such
amazing.
event. And I said, you know, pastor gets the credit, but I wasn't the one who brought that to the church. I wasn't the one who did the planning. I just give the room so people can do it.
Yeah.
And that's when I start saying to all of you ladies who were involved in it, you being the head person, that I am very much committed to opening the door. Because that's what I believe the Lord is looking for. And even now, you've retired, you're looking for something to do, don't worry. We got a whole lot for you to do.
Okay.
You'll be saying, push back, Pastor. But that's something that I want to say to this community. You know, as we move forward and we talk on this Coffee with Curry, and we bring in individuals who are talking about the various aspects they're interested in, we got to start utilizing these services, and we got to start putting it to use. To hear, you know, your daughter, who is doing such a phenomenal job with empowering women, and now she'll allow men to join the group for just a minute. It's important. And it's so important in our community, because we always took care of each other.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Now, I don't know what's going on, where we're very fragmented and we're not together as we used to. You used the word microwave a whole lot earlier today, and it's a shame, but we have to find time to do it the right way.
Right.
So that's why I want to really get with you and let's talk about this home economics or whatever. Is there a new name for it? Because you
No, I think home ec is still a great name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Went for that
Now,
ministry.
because I don't want to spend all my time talking because I'm excited. You got me excited, and I'm just glad that you were able to come on and be a part of this conversation. But your daughter talked about the roast beef. You tell me about some of the dishes you like to make.
The roast beef is one.
Okay.
The roast beef is one. And then you have to ask the girls, Reverend Benton, about the pineapple stuffing.
What?
It's amazing.
/ crack bread.
We shouldn't call it that.
Well, you shouldn't
though.
call it that, but that's what
it's
everybody says.
addictive.
It's addictive.
Oh, okay. Now I get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I just can cook. I just can cook. That's a gift.
Amen.
It started, I
That
guess,
is her
when I
ministry.
was a little girl, and I just had to have an easy bake oven.
Okay.
And I was cooking things all week, and I had to ask my mom to go get me some more supplies because I was cooking and baking so fast. And then when my working career started, I worked for DuPont,
Okay.
and I worked for them for 35 years.
All right.
But the last 10 years, I was in hospitality.
Okay.
And I worked with some amazing chefs for the hotel and for the DuPont Country Club.
Okay.
And when I say work with them, I was close-knit with them. I was in the kitchen looking around, but I was actually the buyer for the foods and their beverages and everything that the country club needed, to run a golf course and all that. But that's really, where I got all of the other extra stuff.
Wow. Wow.
Which I really missed. That was my passion, was the hospitality part, because that's what I like to do.
Right.
So when they were having big parties, I'd be in the kitchen with them, talking, what's that, and how you do that,
Okay.
and looking.
It's interesting because when you called the church a couple of weeks ago to just say, what can you do as a volunteer? So you retired at this point.
I retired from DuPont.
Okay.
And that was always the plan when I retired, to get a part-time job.
Okay.
And I did.
Okay.
And they let me go
Because of COVID.
because of COVID,
Okay.
the end of January.
Okay.
So it's like this Reverend James Cleveland says, I ain't tired yet.
Okay. And you don't look tired.
And I need something to do.
Okay.
So I'm going to look
Well-
for you to find me something to do.
Well, you ain't got to look hard. I got to be very honest with you. So here, we talked about the home economics, and that's something we're going to try to pull together under our CDC. Because I don't believe in using people's talents. I know you're not doing it for money because we could never afford to pay you. You're a DuPont retiree. But we'll do the best we can with what we have to work with. But that's something I'm really interested in. I'm not letting it go because for those who are watching, to offer that to this community, for those who want to, at no charge. We don't want to charge the community. We want to give them something, and we'll take care of whatever it costs to do that. But one of the things I'm thinking about doing also is to do a show. Months and months ago, I did a show about me cooking, because I like to cook. I just like to show the human side of the pastor. And maybe we need to do one with you as we get ready to start opening up ideas for home economics, the basics. Now you can do some of your famous, like the crack pineapple stuffing. You may want to cook that. You may want to cook this roast beef. Some things real chefs don't share because they want to keep it as theirs, but there's some things they do. Like my wife, she's one of the best bakers in the world.
She is.
But I can bake a cake, but not like her.
Yeah.
But I really think that's something that I want to buy into. So I'm kind of glad again for you, Sarah, coming on the show today, because you opened up the door for me to have a conversation that she had already requested, and we're doing it on the air now.
Absolutely.
And this is going to be awesome. This is going to be a good marriage, and we're going to figure it all out as we move on. How we're going to do it, and we'll announce it to the community when it comes to fruition. So we didn't get a chance. Your daughter shared a little bit about you, but we didn't get a chance to really talk about you. You did tell us that you are a 35-year retiree of DuPont. What did you do for the DuPont company?
I was in procurement.
Oh, you was in procurement.
Procurement.
Okay.
Procurement specialist for all those years, and then even when I went over to the hospitality side, I was still in procurement.
Okay, so you got a lot of talent. Okay, we don't see too many of us in that area.
No.
So that's a blessing from the Lord.
Yeah.
What year did you join the Zion Fair?
When COVID was,
Was it 19 or 20?
It might have been 19.
I think it was 19.
Okay.
Yeah, it was 19.
Did you celebrate our 100th with us? Okay, so it was 19. Okay,
Yeah.
at least 19. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Well, it's a joy to have you with us today. And I don't know, is there anything else you want to share? Because you were very obedient when the pastor called. You came.
Yeah, man. You always respond to the pastor. No, I'm just glad to have this opportunity, which I didn't know I was going to have this opportunity. I thought it was all going to be about Sarah.
Yeah.
But, I can't wait till we talk because I have some other things on my heart
Okay.
I want to share with you.
Yeah, and I want you to, as your daughter talked about a whole lot today, I want you to do your passion. I don't want you to do the pastor's passion because even though there's some needs, the Lord may have you to do certain things, but not all of the needs. So I just want to make sure that you do get a chance to share and do what the Lord is calling you to do as well. Yeah, that's very important. Now, it was something else I was going to try to throw in this segment, but you're busy with community service already, and I saw that with Angel Tree. I see that with the TG Swamp. Not TG Swamp. Is there
TG Swap?
Swamp? Okay. As well as you're here for the noonday prayer many times, and you're doing a whole lot. What do you do for leisure? What do you like to do?
Cook. I like to sing, so I'm on the Resurrection Choir.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Do you do solos or you just do the backup?
I have done solos.
Okay, I'm looking forward to this.
I mean, I don't have any for this.
That's all right. That's all right.
But I love to sing, and I was so glad to come to that first rehearsal.
And be careful what you say to your pastor, because he's crazy.
This one sings too.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
okay,
Yeah.
good. It's so good to know these things. And as we move forward, we're going to see how we deal with them. Listen, Sister Crawford, if a person wanted to, since you don't do it full time, but if a person says, you know what, I have a small party or a large party, I need a caterer. Do you do that kind of work? Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about that in this final minutes we have available. If you have a contact number that if a person is interested in having a party or having something and they need a person who can cook or they need a taster or whatever, how do they communicate with you?
It's by email.
By email?
By email. Crawford Carmela at gmail.com.
Now, as well as some of our spelling is, we may not get it right. So go ahead and give it to us again with the spelling part.
CrawfordCarmella at gmail.com.
Right.
It's my name in reverse.
Okay. Well, the reason why I wanted to do that is because I think we often look for caterers. And not only here at East Zion Fair, but people in the community. And whether it be a large event or a small event, it's important that they know that we have a resource. And your resource certainly is what's needed right now. Yeah. And I'm glad to know that resource is here. And I'm not one of those pastors who believe that you do everything for free. If you're providing a service, we need to make sure that we are understanding the scripture says a workman is worthy of their hire. So we need to be that person too. And there are things that we're doing here at East Zion Fair that we look forward to utilizing your service too. So the Wilmington community, here you have a chef and you have a motivator. I don't know how to say the daughter is exceptionally creative, got it from her mom, although she hung out with her dad. So I'm just trying to all figure. She talked about, you felt a little left out a little bit.
Yeah.
But you know what? My wife feels that way sometimes. 'Cause my daughter yesterday, it was so funny. I was sitting there trying to look at a show, and my daughter if I'm around, I'm her world. And Mom's like, I'm with you all the time. Right? But there's something about being with dad, with the girls.
Yeah.
But we thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to share before we close out this segment?
No. Like I do my Good Friday dinners,
Okay.
which is April the 15th.
April the 15th.
April the 15th from 12 to 4.
From 12 to 4, April the 15th from 12 to 4, and we're going to have that on the screen. And so you do your Good Friday dinners, you call it?
Annual Good Fridays.
Annual Good Fridays, and now there's a cost for that.
$15.
$15, and what kind of menu do you have?
We have Bootsy's Famous Roast Beef.
Okay.
We have fried whiting.
Okay.
We have
fried chicken.
Lasagna in a vodka marinara sauce.
Okay.
Smothered cabbage.
Smothered.
Collard greens, baked macaroni and cheese, candied yams, mashed potatoes. And it comes with cornbread and a dessert. And that's it.
Well, that is just unbelievable. You get one. I'm sure you only get one entree.
You get three sides
And one entree.
Wow, you give an extra side and all. Wow. Now, is this at your home or is this at a place? Okay, so if a person is interested, they need to email you.
Email me or call.
Let's get that phone number.
302-655-0425.
I hope you all flood her out, buy all this. Now, do you deliver?
No.
Oh, you don't deliver, so you have to come and get it.
Don't deliver, but when you come to pick up, you call, and we'll have curbside delivery to you.
See, she's such a professional. She's going to give you curbside. And if you want to Uber it, you just tell your Uber person to come and get it at the curbside.
Yeah.
But that's just awesome. And I hope and trust that on the 15th, I'm going to be one of the people who's going to get one of the meals so that I can come back on the show and say, she was not so good, or it was just unbelievably awesome. If Reverend Benton and Hill is saying that your cooking is on point, then I know you are good. Thank both of you so much for spending the time with me today. It was a joy. It was a joy. And I'm looking forward to more conversations as you grow and get stronger in the business that God has given you and the people that you're helping. Keep in touch with us so that we can bring you back and let people know what else you're offering. And Sister Carmela, you definitely want to stay in touch, and we look forward to more to do.
All right.
We'll be right back. We're back. What a great show today. It was wonderful to have Sarah, who is doing so much. She took her passion and moved forward and is doing great things, booked up, doing great stuff. I'm grateful to God, what God can do in the lives of those who just push or go. I forgot which analogy she used, but whichever one it is, just go forward, and that's what she's doing, and she's doing a great job. She also gave some secrets on her mom that I was not aware of, so I had to make sure we set out and got Mom on the show, and Mom came on, and we found out that she loved cooking, she loved helping people, she loved organizing. And after being with DuPont for 35 years, she's learned a lot and she's experienced a lot. So I'm very grateful that she's also a member here, and she's going to help us help the community with some of the programs and projects that I want to do. So this is just going to be a great opportunity, and I'm grateful that Sarah has come and has pulled us together to the level that she did. I hope you will utilize her services. As we shared with you earlier on the screen, you will see her contact information. If you are a woman or a male, they're not discriminative. They will work with you. You need to know. I shared in the middle of our conversation. Burning without learning is not good. You have to have some knowledge in what you're doing in order to be successful and sustain what you're doing. So give her a call. Let's show her that her zeal, her passion for what she does matters. Thank you so much for the time that we shared together today. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all those things. Follow us at Zion Fair Baptist Church and stay in touch with us. We have Bible study every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Then we also have prayer. You won't believe this, 5 in the morning, 200 to 300 people are on the call, and we are praising and thanking God for all he's doing, and the miracles are happening. We have 2 live services here at Zion Fair every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. and 11:30. You wouldn't want to miss them. The Lord is doing some great things, and we are preaching today. Hope to see you in church. Until the next time we get together, God bless.